Hey everyone, I am trying to record this episode for the second time because the first time it was kind of, I'm trying to get used to this new mic, which is kind of lower quality and it's staticky, picks up a lot more extra noise and stuff like that. I've wanted to do something like this for a while. I think heat and cold therapies, I've used them in a variety of different ways. For health and stuff, and I think they're also good for like personal development. You know, a lot of people are into like cold plunges and ice baths and stuff like that. And I think really when you combine the two, it's really when you get the most, I guess, effectiveness and stuff like that out of it. My introduction I think was when I first originally read about it. I think I want to say in 4 Hour Body, which was like years and years ago. But over time, I've kind of done my own thing. I haven't I don't really follow like a plan or anything. I sort of follow Wim Hof and stuff because part of it is cold exposure. I don't think cold exposure and the inverse of it, like kind of heat therapy, is for everyone. Just because some people might be sensitive and some people, it kind of depends. You got to, do your own research. Try things out, talk to your doctor and stuff, and see how it goes. I have my own infrared sauna that I have and I've used for a while. I think it's a good investment. It's like an infrared sauna tent. I get in about 2 or 3 times a week, depending on when I'm able to. Anyways, I use my infrared sauna quite a bit. I use it a few times a week at least. Try to use it more. I get in the hot tub fairly often. I usually do that towards kind of bedtime, and then I use castor oil, which kind of helps with drainage, but it helps with like detox, and also helps with digestion and stuff like that, and also improves sleep quality because it actually, even though it raises kind of your core body temperature, your body kind of cools down to kind of compensate over time, and your body and also like your room temperature should be kind of rather cold, like 60 to 70 degrees for kind of best quality sleep. That's what I've kind of read and research, and that's what I've kind of experienced. If your room's too cold or too hot, it's not really optimum. I also do hot and cold kind of contrast showers, so I'll usually like start hot, and then I'll like soap up and everything, shampoo, and then I'll wash everything off, and then I'll do cold for probably about a minute or two. Make sure to get especially the brown adipose tissue, which is like in your kind of chest and upper chest especially, but your upper back as well too. And then in face and head I think also as well too is a good spot. And then I'll turn back to hot. There's other ways. There's like cryotherapy and stuff in cold that you can get at like wellness clinics and stuff like that. There's saunas and stuff. There's the traditional kind of kind of sweat saunas and stuff too. Those are typically higher temperature. I think infrared saunas are better, more for kind of, I want to say detox and health reasons and stuff, because I take gut binders and stuff when I do use them. I don't do ice baths just because it's kind of involved, and I don't have like the funds really for a nice like kind of bath that's like kept at a cold temperature, and it's like cleaned with like ozone and stuff like that. And you can probably build your own somehow as well too, or I know some people just use like the feed cow troughs and they just load up with ice water and stuff like that. I know there's I think it's called Connect Wellness, where they have like saunas, but they also have like a hot tub, and they also have like cold exposure and stuff. I do, if I can, I do ice baths from time to time, but usually when it's around winter time, that's when I try and do some, and I'll walk around kind of for about 20 or 30 minutes, typically just in like sometimes just some sweatpants and like usually like a t-shirt or like tank top, sometimes shorts. I think that's good like later at night. I sometimes do it earlier in the day as well too, but it gets rather cold. It gets 30-40 degrees at times, and that's a good way to get cold exposure. It's better, I think, the thermal transference or like thermodynamics, if you can do take a bath and stuff like that. There's also, I've used ice packs as well too. I don't know how practical it is, and I know some people like dunk their head in kind of cold water and stuff like that. But both of them, both heat and cold therapy, are good for, healing. Heat is better more for like opening up blood vessels and helping with blood flow and with inflammation and stuff. Cold exposure kind of does the opposite, where it kind of constricts stuff and it kind of slows things down, and that can help with pain and inflammation as well too. I know in a lot of professional athletes and teams and stuff, they often do that like after a game or after practice, or training, weight training and stuff like that, which are also good times to kind of use that as well too, is doing cold and hot, or heat and cold exposure after training, whether that be a sport or something, or weight training. But you can also just do it anytime as well too. Sometimes I will take like a really hot Epsom salt bath, and I'll add stuff to that. I'll add Epsom salt and binders and other stuff if I can. Like you can add like zeolite and a bunch of other stuff to it, and you can go that way too. You can also sometimes combine like the infrared sauna, like the red lights, like really penetrate your skin and get into your core body and stuff like that, and kind of heat it up as well too. There's a number of different ways that you can kind of apply. I know some people probably get in a cold, take an ice bath, and then get in a sauna. I haven't really tried that. That could be an interesting thing I could try as well too. It's definitely good for overall health. It's especially if you're coming from chronic kind of health problems. I think you can help. You can help with mood and other stuff. It's just something that you can, relatively simple to do, and it's cost effective, and it doesn't really cost all that much. Like my infrared sauna tent costs about $200-ish, even though the bottom's given out because it's kind of a cheaper material. All the rest of it still works, and I've had it for a few years, and it's definitely been worth an investment, as opposed to going to like a clinic, wellness clinic or spa or something like that. Or so I know some gyms, I don't know if they have infrared saunas, but they typically have saunas or something like that. So that's another option as well too. Cold exposure is a bit more tricky because typically you do need either like kind of some kind of ice maker or bags of ice, or to actually go to a clinic or something like that. That being said, this is definitely something that you can look into, and I haven't tried cryotherapy at a wellness clinic or anything like that, but these are these therapies you can kind of introduce daily, weekly, to kind of help with your health and all that, and overall well-being, and it's cost effective and stuff like that. Anyways, if you enjoy and like this podcast, feel free to share and like it, and comment and rate it, and especially if you're on YouTube or anything like that. Aside from that, if you want to be on my podcast, if you want to collaborate, if you need help with your health, feel free to reach out to me. I have a Facebook page. I have a Facebook page for my health coaching. I have a bunch of different ways, and also just the email, Psynautical@gmail.com. That's a good way to reach out to me. I hope everyone is doing well, hope everyone's enjoying their winter, and life is going well, and I'll see you all next time.